This is the Hardball Gets AFL show. My name is Nick Ryan, joined by Xavier Ellis and Ryan Daniels. This is the Wednesday mailbag. This is unusual. Yesterday, we delayed 2-minute warning, but we're used to coming in on a Tuesday.
You mean on Monday we delayed it? Yeah.
We delayed it on Monday, but we're used to coming in on a Tuesday, so it wasn't this today.
Coming in on Wednesday is weird.
Wow.
Still paying for babysitters.
And then we'll be back tomorrow. So the silver lining for people is...
It's a 3 in a row.
Bang, bang, bang.
Hat trick.
Every night on the way home or at work, whatever you listen.
Yeah, this is right.
You've got a feast.
And last night's
And there's no
news,
Thursday night AFL
also.
games, AFLW games this week. Okay, anyway, this episode's brought to you by Woodside Energy, a proud major sponsor of the Fremantle Football Club, who are flying. They support local footy from grassroots to greatness. They are flying.
Yeah, I know.
11 out of 12, isn't it?
Just a bit of mayo on the read.
CFF. Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Daniels. Go yourself, Australia. I'm guessing that's in reference to my Ron Burgundy moment.
Woodside intro.
Fridge. Now that Nat Fyfe has retired, who in the AFL will I now leave my girlfriend for? Oh, that's a tough one.
Well, we've talked about this a bit. Finn Callahan is a bit
Zave's
of a
a big
rooster.
Finn Callahan
Yeah, you're more
guy.
of a Finn man.
Yeah.
No one's really replaced that sort of Josh Bruce type. Big hairy.
Oh, they're your types.
Yeah, that's a big bear kind of fella.
Yeah, you'd want like a Lloyd Meek, but if Lloyd had a beard,
He needed a big beard and yeah.
He's more of a Max Gorn, man.
chop some wood.
We had Melbourne on the TV the other day. My son, who's 2, Max Gorn, came across. He's like, "Daddy, that's you."
Yes,
He's a
it
bald
is.
man, slightly leaner and taller and better at football, son. But yes, very similar.
Anthony, any truth to the rumour that Nick was trying to get the Kit Kat of Fife to launch his newsletter? Oh, yes, I've seen this. What's it called? Do you want to give it a plug?
Punches.
What's
Jumper
happened?
Punch. He's got a
it's
newsletter.
just a weekly bit of a roundup of WA footy.
Imagine if you spent as much time worrying about getting your content right for this show as you do the waffle.
It'd be insane.
And I'm refusing to watch or listen to any of it until they move the Colts games past 9 o'clock.
Well, we'll push for that. Just sign up. Go to on. You can probably Jumper Punches on Substack and Instagram. Jumper.
And what do you give them a round blow by blow?
No, top to bottom. AFL, Fremantle West Coast, AFL, AFLW, Waffle W.
What's like a news
Colts.
of the week kind of vibe?
News of the week, short and sharp roundup.
Yep.
Every Monday. In
So am
your
I
inbox.
competing with you now for news?
No,
Is that
I'm
something?
linking through to your things.
Oh, so you'll send a link to my tweets or stories?
Yes, yeah, correct.
Okay, I like that. Billy, good to see the Hawks ramping up their pre-finals training load by completing an extra 2 hours of circle work on the MCG Friday night.
It was circle work.
It was.
Do not let Dylan Moore, Jack Ginnivan, or the Wizard get involved early.
Yeah,
You do that, bad news.
it's over.
Bad news.
They can win the flag.
Everybody can win the flag. Did we go over this?
Yeah, were they paying 17? What are they paying now? Should have all jumped on when I said so.
Should have jumped on when I said Adelaide.
I don't know about that. That's slipping away
That
now.
was the over-unders, probably.
What are they?
So $3.75 are Adelaide.
Still favourites.
$13.
What? Hawthorn. Get on. Still time. Get on. I'm feeling it. Because they're like Collingwood, right? All they have to do is get in there, and then they're going to get a couple of away games at the MCG.
13.
Because you know if they play like Geelong, they're not going to play it at
No.
GMHBA.
As being a Hawthorn man, I don't want to play Geelong, though. Leave me out of that.
Tay, regarding Matthew Pavlich becoming CEO for the Sydney Swans, if Jack and William Pavlich go to the Swans Academy and end up at Sydney instead of Freo via father-son, I'll spew up. This was really a statement rather than a
I
question.
raised this. Harper as well.
It wouldn't be via father-son, though, would it? It'd be via...
No, it'd be
AGA.
Academy. Yeah, it'd be Academy. Liam, are the Crows wildly overhyped? Who have they actually beaten away from home?
We
We've
spoke
talked
about that.
this.
They
Yeah.
are a 3 or 4 goal better team at home, too.
They love hunting bunnies. They love hunting bunnies. The good thing for them is they'll get 2 home finals if they
Not yet.
if they don't stuff it up from here.
Well, but if they lost to Collingwood, I wouldn't say it was a stuff-up.
No, that's just a tough game.
Yeah.
Who's their last game? You look that up while I get the next question. Costas. G'day.
Which team? I wasn't really paying attention.
You are useless.
Collingwood. Adelaide.
Adelade's the last
Adelaide.
game.
The last game.
Yeah.
Yeah. North Melbourne.
Oh, okay. Okay,
And Marvel.
Costas. G'day. Parsley, Tent, and Tugger.
Oh, Parsley.
You're Tugger. Parsley, sorry. It's your Tugger.
Yeah, from when I remember...
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Love when you lads rehash funny rumours / stories. What is the best outside salary cap payment you have heard over your years in footy? Not strictly AFL. Well, there's always the Juddy Vizzy stuff that was always rumoured to be going on.
Well, I was in Melbourne when the Melbourne Storm had their premierships taken off them.
Right.
And they reckon out the front of the Melbourne Storm boys was a boatyard. Maybe been some boats and caravans and all sorts of shit getting handed out.
Caravan. I've heard like.
Well, they must be pretty serious to lose premierships.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I see, but they've still got them displayed in the lobby. I saw that this week.
The premierships?
The cups.
Do they?
I've heard blocks of land sold for like $1, that sort of stuff.
The one I always laughed at was Swan Districts. They always said there was like the bags were hidden in the bushes next at the Red Rooster drive-through. So you'd lean out one side and get your chips, lean out the other side and grab your bag.
Really?
Paper bag of
that
cash.
can't be true.
No,
Did they get done?
Did
they get done with salary cap stuff as well, Swans?
No, every waffle club's been pinged over the journey.
This is still cost us. For example, my fave was when a country SA club decided one game that best on would be awarded a caravan donated by the club's president, caravan business. Lo and behold, the ex-AFL player who said he played for the love of the game and not match payments got best on ground after 6 touches. Kieran, evening lads, love the pod except it needs some more negativity. Which current AFL players do you dislike, if any?
Okay.
Doesn't have to be for a reason. Could be one that just gets on your nerves. The popular answers seem to be the pesky half-forward archetype, such as Ginnivan, Pavlich and Green. The raging defensive barometer, such as Azorco, Maynard, Sicily. Those with off-field controversy, such as Stringer, Bolter and May. Or those who are just bloody good at footy, Dacos, Dangerfield and Horn Francis. Keen to hear your thoughts. I dislike Rayner solely because Nick likes him too much.
Excuse me.
Cheers, boys. Well,
Jesus.
you hate Dan Curtin.
Yeah,
and
your
you
list
hate,
is long.
Who was the other one?
LDU. He's also on your list.
Jimby is a midfielder.
Yeah,
Ruben Ginby.
As a midfielder.
Ruben Ginby.
Fullback, I love him.
You dislike him as well.
Fullback, I love him. Midfielder, no.
I don't hate anyone.
Bullshit.
No, I'm a
You
lover.
got to hate some people. I'll take Stephen May.
Oh, look, I'm not a Stephen May guy. I'm definitely not a Stephen May fan.
Okay, now keep going. You've
keep
named
going.
3 of mine.
Keep going.
Of which I like Dan Curtin, I like Ruben Jimby, and who was the other one you threw me under? No, LDU. Okay,
Yeah.
you just don't like his effort.
I struggle with Dane Zorko because the playing version of him I don't love. But anytime I hear him talk, I'm like, oh, he seems okay.
Yeah.
I struggle with that. There's a few of those. I'm not sure how I feel about Ginnivan. Like, I kind of hate him, but I also kind of enjoy him.
He's good for the game.
Yeah, I like those people.
Have you interviewed someone, either of you guys, who you were like, or met someone who you were like, oh, probably a cockhead?
Heaps.
And then you meet them and you're like, oh, they're good blokes.
Oh, the other way around,
Yeah.
you mean? Do you know what? I'll tell you a story. So myself and my camo Paul, we were over in Melbourne. We used to go over and we'd spend 4 days in Melbourne and go to all the Vic clubs and talk to WA guys and do like feature stories. It was great.
Budget's dried up.
Yeah,
That was
the
pre-COVID.
same.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID. It was a junket, right?
Yeah.
So we'd go over there and we have a good time. Anyway, we were going to the Western Bulldogs and we had an interview with Jason Johannesson.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd been warned by a couple of people that said, Johannesson, he's a real
Hard work.
prickly character. He's a bit of a dickhead. So I'd said to Paul, I said, mate, it was our last one of the day too. We'd done like 6 interviews that
One
day.
of Norm Smith as well.
We had some technical difficulties with the camera. I was like, this guy, why does this have to be the last one? It's cold, going all the way out to Footscray. We rocked up and Jason Johannesson was the nicest human being.
Yeah.
And Paul was expecting this total wanker, so he's fussing around with the mic, stressing about it.
yeah.
And Johannesson was like, don't take your time, don't worry about it. He's asking us about our day, where we've been. We walked away and went, we both had this huge man crush on Jason Johannesson.
A little bit like Jarman Impey, I said yesterday in the podcast
with the
when
kids.
I said, the best player with the kids by a million miles with my kids was Jarman Impey, and which was like, I get that all the time. He's just such a good bloke.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have picked that just not knowing him.
Yeah, no,
But
exactly.
But now he's my favourite Hawk.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes it's just the way they play on the field isn't the same as the way they are.
The Toby Green example that I'm thinking of is there was a time where they did a sit-down interview with Toby and whoever the journalist was didn't record it.
Oh.
Sit-down interview and didn't record it.
Yeah, I've been there.
Like the early days of this podcast.
Yeah, and rang
Every
and,
podcast.
and rang Toby just to say, look, we've cocked it up. Do you mind if I just take 5 minutes of your time to just ask you some questions? At least I'll put it into print or something.
Yeah.
Toby's like, nah, bullshit. No dramas. I've got time tomorrow. Come back to the club. I'll set aside an hour. We can re-record the whole thing for you.
Wow. So I wouldn't have picked that with Toby.
No.
No.
That's what's amazing. There's some good people.
That's a Sydney club for you, Sydney or Brisbane. That's not happening in West Coast.
No, I wouldn't have
Fremantle, Adelaide.
no, but that's
Adelaide.
Toby off his own back.
But yeah, that's
So
right.
there was nothing through the club.
I had a similar thing with the camera not working. I did Have I told you the story?
Was it the diver? What about the
Olympics?
The Olympics.
It was
was that what it was?
It was the sailing. So the sailing,
Matt
right?
Wern.
Matty Wern was going to win the gold.
Yeah.
We knew the day before. All he had to do was not drown, right? And the next day, he just had to sail around the water.
So hang on to the pole and go through the
hang
water.
on, just have 6 beers if you want. Just don't fall off the boat. And so it was the end of the Olympics. We had 2 weeks, and the sailing was ages away. So he had to drive out 3 hours to get there. And my camo, let's just say the relationship was strained leading into this.
Right.
He didn't really know what he was doing.
Is he still around?
He wasn't a local guy. He was from.
Okay.
He was an American guy living in Japan. We go,
So no, we can shit can as much as we
yeah,
want.
he's
He's not
no
going to hear
chance he's
this.
listening to this podcast. But he had driven me insane. He didn't know how to use any of the equipment. It was very hot. It was stressful. So, we were at max capacity. Do
you know what I would hate being in your
so
role?
patient.
Is sharing a car.
Yeah, we had to do that.
I hate that.
all the time.
I always
don't like
drive
that
by
either.
myself.
I had to be so patient. Anyway, we get to this. We know going there that day is going to be a gold. So the whole network's right, crosses, blah, blah, we're going to get this moment. It's going to be huge. And Matt Wern, he wins anyway.
Stayed in the boat.
To, but he stayed in the boat and he won that day. So he didn't even have to. Comes out of the water, comes over. We're the first interview because we're, the host broadcaster for Australia. He's sobbing, starts gushing about his family and the journey that it's taken to get here.
Throw a bit of illness in there.
We had
Nana's dead.
I gave him the Nat Fife hug afterwards.
Pecker
It was
to
a
pecker.
beautiful moment, right? Then he goes off to get drug tested and the camo goes, he wants to get him to come back. I was like, why? He goes, I wasn't recording. I was like, I fucking lost it. That was it. I dropped 15 F-bombs. I've never yelled at someone in my life in this job, and that was it. I lost it. And I said, he's not going to fucking cry again, is he? So we wait 40 minutes, and because he's got to do the drug testing, he's got to go through the ceremony, get his gold medal.
Jeez, I'd laugh if the alternate was you had to interview him while he's pissing in a cup. You've gone from him crying to mid-drug test.
we
He comes
isolate
back.
the voice
He
on this
comes
audio?
back, and I must have tried 60 questions to get a tear. He had nothing left because he's done a piss. He's got nothing in his body.
And then all of a sudden, sailing Australia, everyone's like, he's a boring prick. I'm not interested
he
in
won
that.
gold,
It was
mate.
just
Come,
like,
mate, show us a bit.
it was really good. It was fun. I was like, I was so angry. I've never been so angry in my life. I didn't know.
He's never been invited back to the Olympics,
No.
Rhino.
No,
Yeah,
well, the other
Matt Wern.
mob's got the rights now, so I've never get a chance
do
of
they?
redemption. Anyway,
Com games?
that was that. Okay.
It's funny, I'll complete off topic before we get this question. Certain events belong with certain networks. So, for example, in my mind, the Olympics belongs with 7.
I agree.
Grew up with it. The cricket, on the other hand, I just grew up with the other, with 9 having it.
I disagree.
The footy, no, but do you know what I mean? Like, you're so in tune of what you grew up with.
Footy is 7.
Like 7s with the footy. Like
Supercars.
10.
I see. I think 7. I've spent on 7.
I don't watch the Supercars. But you know what I mean? Like cricket.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Josh, question. Who says no?
Super League, Foxtel.
Josh, question. Who says no? Eagles offer pick 2 and maybe another pick for Dan Curtin. Adelaide then offer pick 2 and also another pick for Wanganeen Miller. Eagles then say they will do what they can to sign Cody Curtin so the two brothers are together. I know Dan has signed on, but that's never stopped anything. So in this scenario, the Eagles take pick 2, give it Adelaide for Dan Curtin. Then they Crows give pick 2 and whatever other pick they have to get Wanganeen Miller. So the first thing would have to be that Wanganeen Miller would have to commit to the Crows and say, get me.
Which we've heard is
and
not
then,
the case.
And then the Saints would have to go,
No,
right,
it's-
well, we want a top 5 pick and we want something else. And the Crows would go, shit, how are we going to get a top 5 pick? And they go, West Coast want Dan Curtin. Here you go.
Not
But
a-
Dan Curtin's got to say, yes, I'll go to West Coast instead of staying in
And then
Adelaide
you've got to
trying win
promise
a
to
flag.
get his brother too.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Not a good week to be putting Dan Curtin in trades with pick 2 either after the weekend, the poor
Yeah,
bugger.
correct.
He got
Oh.
sat on his ass at one stage too, and when you're having a bad
Wasn't
day.
it by Hamish Davis as well?
I think
Fellow
it
Claremont.
might have
yeah,
been, yeah.
yeah.
Well, hey, I told you about Hamish Davis.
Yeah, the goal.
No. I met him on Friday.
Oh, hold on a minute. No. This is an oversight by me. So
What has happened?
I was sent a message and it said along the lines of, our man Zave was at the pub. Don't know which pub.
Restaurant.
He was at a restaurant. And he was talking to a bunch of people that he didn't know.
Yeah.
And he met this young fella and he's chatting away. He goes, what are you doing on the weekend? And then this young fella says, oh, I'm playing for West Coast. it was Hamish Davis.
Oh, I've never seen him in my life.
He's played like 6 games.
But he could have been, honestly, had a Triple M jumper on and sat behind in the tech station. I would have thought he was a tech at work.
He was the young star of
kid.
the waffle club that you've married into.
This poor kid is probably thinking, "Oh, I'm talking to a premiership player here. We're in the same club.
The West Coast club.
We're boys who have played a game in the AFL, and he just, what are you doing on the weekend?"
Well, the worst part, there was two of them, and I didn't know either of them.
Was there another player? Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot to bring that up. Thank you for that.
And then I said to the boys, like, yeah, you guys are so shallow. I knew he was playing for West Coast, but I want to know outside of footy what he's doing. And then at like 5 a.m. on Sunday morning, the boys must have been still going. They're like, mate, you didn't know who he was. I was like,
You
I'll
had
put the sword
no
down.
idea. No, you had no idea. I'm glad I received that message. Are you surprised that I knew that?
Not really.
Okay. All
No,
right.
because I made a right ass of myself. But like Pat Voss, and the Fremantle supporters are now enjoying Pat Voss.
Yep.
I was on Pat Voss very
Now
early.
you're on
and
Hamish.
Voss and Davis are my two boys.
That goal was
Now
impressive.
he is.
It was very
I've been on
impressive.
Hamish Davis for years.
Okay, let's go to our man Luke.
Hey guys, Luke here. Just wondering, do you reckon Alistair Clarkson actually watches footy? Because they played Saints last week and he didn't tag Wanganeen Miller, but this week he decides to tag Lockie Ash. And I reckon he must have just looked at the box score last week and seen Ash had over 35 touches. So he's like, we must clamp Ash. And it did a great job and they only lost by like 10 goals, so it was pretty good. So yeah. Does Clarko actually watch the great game of AFL?
He's come for your man.
Yeah,
It's the
I
first
won't-
time you and Luke have ever disagreed.
Can't, Luke. That's the last one I'll be playing like that. Lockie Ash, yeah, he got attention, but Christ, in that 88-point loss, he was shit then.
Yeah.
Like 35 touches was a blessing
Yeah.
for the opposition. Hey, he's had a good season, so I don't want to downplay that, but those halfbacks at Giants,
Jenkin, statement for the mailbag. Matt Owies, 6 goals. Alex Pearce, 4 goals. LOL.
Oh, yeah. That's
Andrew
Not
Embley,
ideal.
at the start of the year, I said West Coast will
I remember
win.
this
Did I say
moment.
one game,
It was-
2 games,
it
whatever
was
it was?
very
I was
funny.
mad, 1 or 2 games.
We're in Bunbury.
Embers said they would win 9 games of footy, and then I said, in what world could that possibly happen?
Why?
And he said, why, Rhino?
Matt Owies.
Man, no,
The inclusion of Matt Owies.
He did.
That's his answer.
He did.
9 wins.
we talk about people not
He could have
watching
gone,
AFL
look,
football.
you know, they've added Liam Baker, they've added Jack Graham, new coach,
Matt
but no,
Owies.
straight to Matt Owies.
That was a bloke who panicked when there was a follow-up question
Yeah.
and then said what the first thing came to his mind.
His emphasis.
Jeez, that was funny.
He's hilarious. Fendergram, pushing the back is cooked. I get it. There is an interpretation that holding your position in a marking contest is not pushing the back, but it is judged inconsistently and results in players being awarded a contested mark when it should be a free kick for unfairly gaining an advantage. Also, how do players push in the back when losing a chase down and the opposition is mid-kicking the ball and it's hardly ever called by umpires? Does this make anyone else feel like they've just been pushed in the back, or is it just me? P.S. We'll be happy to buy Rhino a Kit Kat show bag this September for the 5-story. Big up, mate. Chocolate bar. Thank you. Finally, some fucking credit.
No, it was a good story.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, the retirement story, not on the radar. The sit-down I really enjoyed.
Thank you.
The
Some
3
good
minutes.
stuff in there. There's a 12-minute
was-
version
there-
coming
yeah.
soon. There's a 12-minute version.
It wasn't just the 3 minutes. There was
There's
2 different
I'll
segments.
link to
No,
a
no,
12-minute version.
Wow.
I've told you yesterday I thoroughly enjoyed the bit about 5
You did.
not being 5.
And the
You
12
did.
minutes, the last 12 minutes, last 2 minutes is just a slowed down version of the hug.
So did you feel
Super
peck?
slow-mo.
Did you feel peck to peck?
No, because we both leaned in. Tops leaned in. No bottom. No
top
bottom
pecs.
touch.
No, but you always slide in.
I don't- You'd have to look at the tape. I
if
can't
someone
remember.
tries to hug me, I always try and peck the peck. No, just to make it really awkward for everyone.
You're so
like if
weird.
someone tries to hug at a funeral, you just peck the peck, and then you're like, we're at a funeral and we're peck to peck. This is a real shit one for you. Do it from now on. Whenever someone important tries to hug you, peck them.
It's a show of dominance, like a
Yeah,
wildebeest.
Oh, what are you? How are we feeling about the push in the back rule there?
Oh, there's a big.
It's a shit show.
Yeah, I think the rules in general are a bit tough at the moment.
The rucks stuff and the pushing the backs, you give me the shits.
Yeah.
The ruck stuff they're starting to work out. Just throw the ball up, throw it
Yeah,
in,
just
and
like-
if no one touches it, don't recall it. Obviously,
Keep going.
throw it up for a set
The
of bounce.
inconsistency is the problem with pushing the back.
Rucks. Got to
Michael.
eliminate them. Luke, go back to bag and rucks, not Clarko.
Yeah.
Due to TDK's form dropping later in the season and the need to up the NAS offer, could the Saints reduce or walk away from the original TDK offer, or would a contract be signed already? No contract would be signed. It can't be. But teams rarely walk away when they do this because it takes a lot of machines and movements to get to the point where a player agrees to go to a club. Now, he hasn't come out and said he has, but you don't typically renege.
I would say there's
It is-
some kind of
I would say
binding deal.
99% of the time, it happens.
That deal's done,
Yeah. It won't go backwards. You might have buyer's regret at some point. And then you've got to make it work. That's the other thing. Not in this case because he can walk. Jeff, should Max King surrender number 12 if TDK comes on board and take a number more befitting his ability?
Chuck them both in 49.
That was a smash for Max King.
I was just say,
wow,
but I'd rather King over DeConing at the moment.
Yeah.
King just has to stay out there.
Yeah.
That's the problem for him. He needs to go to Dubai.
You
or
forget,
something.
actually, in fairness, yesterday you spoke about the percentage increase with the St Kilda if they
Forget
keep
it.
Yeah,
Naz.
Can't
throw
forget
Max
about
King.
Throw King in, they'll give you another 2.5%.
All right. Well, that's what, 15%, 16%? Chris, how does Freo get Gold Coast's via Port first draft pick? Mainly to get in front of a possible Toby Wan bid.
Oh, he's not going to be in the first round.
He won't be that early, will he?
Toby won't be that. Toby had 41 and 4 goals on the weekend.
But he's
with
not going to be
Colts.
top 20.
He's not going to be top 20.
No, we're talking 30s,
Speaking
right?
of Toby yesterday on the 7-point play.
You're speaking Swahilian to
I
me.
spoke to Toby Wan. Toby Wan is a player for South Fremantle who's a Fremantle NGA player.
Do they still start at 9 a.m.?
Yeah, and
I
you
don't
should see
care
the
then.
grounds, mate.
Mrs. Longmuir, a quick comment about Wolfie time. Recently, when it gets activated at Dockers games, the magic is ruined when the goal replay kicks in and overtakes the Ocean graphics. Surely they can skip one goal replay and let Wolfie time have its moment. Tent man, please sort it out. Also, I must say that as a mother, I can't condone the amount of bullying that goes on your show. Poor Nick gets ridiculed every single week. That said, the null thing is hilarious, so keep it up.
It's all right.
It's Justin's
It's
wife.
like-
I do feel as though they need to do, if they're going to do that Wolfie time, at the moment it looks like a grade 5 school presentation that's been slapped together. A boat going through water saying Wolfie time.
I like the
Wolfie time.
Get the lights going in the building.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
lights.
let's get a little bit more stuff going rather than just a boat in the ocean.
and I agree.
Maybe they should have like a lighthouse up the top, just so the lights dim and boom, boom.
Yeah,
I don't mind that.
I like
but I
that.
would say too, I reckon we're aware that it's Wolfie time now. I don't think we need Wolfie time.
Nah, it's great.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
Get the boat going and the sounds going. Everyone knows what it is. I just don't think we need the
Oh,
graphic.
you don't need the
going,
graphic saying
Wolfie time. Wolfie
No
time.
words.
No words. Everyone knows now. I think that'll add a bit to it too.
Yeah, okay.
Because you feel it. You don't need to see
I
it.
like that. Pull back on the word. I think you
Yeah.
still have like maybe just ocean.
And I
just-
agree, you don't do the
yeah.
replay unless it's the goal of the year.
Yeah.
Keep the
Commit
replay.
to Wolfie time.
Get rid of. It looks like a PowerPoint presentation. Get rid of Wolfie time. The actual written word. No, the written word. Get rid of it, and then have the boat running through
Poor
it. and
graphics bloke who made that is
Yeah,
just
I want him
dying
now
listening to this.
to commit to you saying it's a PowerPoint and have like a little spinning in.
Yeah,
Wolfie
that's
time.
what it's like.
All right, we are
like that.
dragging. We're going to pace through this a little bit. This is Mac's voice message.
Hey boys, I'm a big Collingwood fan. Pretty flat out with uni this year. Don't watch a lot of Freo games, but geez, just watching this game now, Erasmus has been that bloody good, especially this last half. I know you boys sometimes take the piss out of him, and Freo-wise, he's first in, first out of the team, but great turnaround in form by him, just to the naked eye. And again, don't watch many Freo games, but he's been almost the best player on the ground this second half. So hopefully the boys can hang on for him.
He has been really good. Erasmus, well, last week he was really good. That was his best game in the AFL. And so Freo have a 2-year contract in front of him.
What sort of money?
I don't know. I'd be guessing, but it wouldn't be astronomical. It would be somewhere in the medium space. I know West Coast have made significant inquiries, and so have the Western Bulldogs. Collingwood were in a bit of a race early on, but they've seemed to have pulled back because they just don't have any money.
Yeah.
And Geelong was sort of early in the conversation too, but I don't think they're in it now.
So he had a really good game on the weekend,
He was
Erasmus.
excellent. Yep.
The weekend before, he had 0 touches in the first quarter because he was sub, and then Young came subbed off at the time. He had a really good second and third. Like he had 12 touches in those 2 quarters there, then went quiet again. So
You're starting
maybe
to
he's
see it.
building and a little bit of confidence. But he's a mid, so like I don't like the poor bastards that get sat on that half forward shift and then they get dropped.
He needs to go somewhere where he can play in the midfield. Because otherwise he's not going to go past Brayshaw, Sarong, Young, and I think Fremantle will have Johnson ahead of him. And then there's also the veterans who they keep sprinkling in there. Fife's obviously going, but then there's O'Meara's still there, and they like to sprinkle him in. They like to put Bolton in the middle every now and then.
There's no world that Erasmus does this back to back to back, and then Young comes back. What happens with Fifey?
No.
I think
There's no
grand final day.
there's no world for Bambi.
I think
Erasmus is still going to be the one that gets
correct.
spilled.
I think the sub
That
will be
sucks.
Fife space for the majority of the finish of the
For
season.
the next 5 games.
Yeah.
G'day, fellas. This is Jared. First time, long time and all that. Question for the mailbag. I'm just wasting my Saturday watching Richmond v the Saints, and Camden McIntosh has got me thinking about your favourite all-time forgotten club stalwarts, guys that have had a long career, done a job, but we won't be looking at their highlights in 20 years' time. Think of a Sean Atley type as another example. P.S. That bloke played over 200 games, and no one knows who he is. A caveat. They can't have had a public-facing post-footy career, e.g. Sean McManus, Mark Lacroix, etc. Obviously been watching the 7 footy coverage. Only talking guys that came in and out of the comp, never to be seen again after a decent career. Love the pod. Cheers, lads.
Yeah, Sean Atley's your cousin, is he?
My cousin. We share the same cousin.
Okay.
So Sam is...
That sounded a bit
Alabama-ish. Yeah.
My uncle
expand on
married
that.
Sean's auntie.
Okay.
Here's 2 for you, 2 good ones. Brad Sewell.
Yeah, he's still
Is he forgotten?
around,
I
is
don't
he?
think he's forgotten, is he?
When was the last time we spoke about Brad Sewell?
It's been a while.
Didn't we just talk about him yesterday?
You bring him into every
I know.
second podcast, so I think we hear about him a lot.
And for Eric McKenzie.
Oh, yeah, he's
Yeah.
Big Easy. Yeah, he was a very good player. Very good player.
Ferris winner.
Yeah, ruined by injuries a couple of times.
Yeah, I did put out one of those coffee videos the other day about forgotten moments. A lot of people talked about Mackenzie running into
Point
the
post.
post to save
Who have
it.
you got? Some random obscure player that no one's ever heard of?
Tim Ruffles. But he wasn't
But he's
actually.
not a
No,
stalwart.
you talk about stalwarts.
He's just a guy who was there a little bit. He's not a stalwart.
He's not quite a stalwart.
Craig Callahan.
Yeah, Craig Callahan's one, I think.
Just
Well,
Chance
yeah.
Bateman. Just Chance Bateman
Yeah,
qualify.
Chance
Yeah.
Bateman qualifies for sure.
Yeah.
He definitely qualifies.
Gilbert. Sam
Sam Gilbert.
Yeah, Sam Gilbert.
Well, he got thrown back into it when
He looks like
Scully
Travaglia.
when Scully said he was the same as the Flying Viking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And and then Northern Kilda supporters were like, my hopes and dreams are relying on this kid. Sam Gilbert was a fine player, but we want something.
A little bit better from the first round. Top 10 pick.
Dude, do you know who I loved? And he was better than a stalwart, though. It was Wayne Campbell. I loved Wayne Campbell as a
mate,
kid.
captain of the club.
I know, but he was one of my favourite players as a kid. And he doesn't get talked about now. Who's bringing up Wayne Campbell?
I
What
did
about
yesterday.
Greg Broughton?
Oh, piss off.
Greg Broughton across the
Greg
Broughton.
Broughton. Yes,
good.
Greg Broughton. Yeah, no, there's a lot of those. Max, 16:30 left in the first quarter of Geelong Essendon. BT says, cheap parking tickets out there. I reckon you'd cop the ticket rather than pay for parking. Interesting you guys mentioned that in the podcast, and BT brings it out barely 36 hours later. Something in that, I reckon.
Jeez, my
he's
Instagram
listening.
went
Beat-
firing.
Really?
I can guarantee BT's not listening.
I would have
would be my guarantee.
reckon
but
BT
no,
listens to any footy
a
podcasts.
WhatsApp of mine went absolutely bananas. Around the same area you work, they don't buy tickets and they allow for 2 a week.
Hey, really?
Really?
There we
Yeah.
go.
I reckon some Murdoch students, if they were listening, would take that scam too that I had.
Yeah, that
fine
got
for
mentioned,
parking.
Blandy
Did it?
and Johnny Williams.
Are they Murdoch guys?
A few were, not Johnny.
Yeah.
He's in the city. He got nailed 3 times and then gave up on the program.
Bradley. Yeah, see, there is a way you can get sprung.
Yeah,
Yeah,
once
but you got to hold your nerve through a bad week.
you do, because
Absolutely.
when you get a good month, you got to
plays
remember
out.
the good times.
That's right. Bradley, Rhino, will the Eagles and Harley do a deal before the last home game against the Swans? I don't reckon it's close enough for that. Justin, boys, one for the big canvas. In 1 week, Mr. Daniels is arguing with Zaid that he'd choose the promise of Jamara at Sydney over the tried and tested Harry Mackay. In the very next week, he's using 2 minutes to talk about why Mackay would be the perfect fit for the Swans. Which is it? With a memory that short, I'm waiting to hear Ryan say that Grundy has had one of the great ruck years and he's all in on the Essendon rebuild. Yeah, fair enough. But
about though,
in
sometimes-
saying that, still, I can also think that Harry Mackay is a good fit for the Swans and still think I'd go with Jamara. They can
I
both-
reckon we just cop it. And 2 minutes every week, we start to get a bit stuck.
It's okay, particularly at this point of the season.
We just say it.
Jad, how about Zave saying Pierce isn't that important for Freo on the preview pod?
Oh, no, that was not.
I had a few people text me about this.
That was incredible, the finish.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean...
They did say, can you play the audio of Zave saying Pierce isn't that important? And all the messages came in directly after the goal.
But did you know just get him to the
I
finals?
know what you mean. Yeah.
No, I didn't
A
defend
full,
you.
yeah, I know.
was like,
I know
that'd
that.
be right.
I know that,
Well,
but
you can't-
I thought Oscar McDonald or someone could do that. Get Pierce right at home and then play him. That was my point.
They played him.
And
Frank,
well done, Connor Rosie, for just not trying to defend with 30 seconds to go.
Frankie,
if you told me, show me how you just Do not defend.
Also, he's telegraphing exactly where he's going.
Okay, we got to speed through. Come on, otherwise we're going to miss a lot of these. Frank, getting it early in case Dave wants to put a carton on the line for Swans v Cats game. I have a feeling he'd want to back the Swans this week. Have a think about that. Frankie.
Oh, I'd have to.
This is Frankie. He likes to set the pace.
I would have to have a big head start.
Yeah, you would just say you want the Swans. James, is it East Coast bias that no one from the pod has been asked to play in the Legends game, but Dan does footy has? I'd love to see Nick out there.
Dan does
I'd pay
footy.
good money to see Nick running around in that
We
game.
get a Hutchie moment.
Dan does footy has about 500,000 Instagram followers.
Yeah, we need to up
we're
that.
just a bit
Ski
behind.
Legends, when was the last time a WA or SA club lured an A or B grade level player from Victoria that wasn't coming home? Warple, Silvani, Petrarca, Oliver, Walsh all talked about as possibly leaving their clubs, but none will consider leaving Victoria or the East Coast. Big Pepsi wasn't at the peak of his powers when he made the move to WA, and the dollars in his contract showed that, and Sam Mitchell was offered coaching as a lure. What does Big Pepsi think the WA clubs need to do to be able to convince established Vic talent to consider a move to WA away from friends and family?
Oh, he wasn't Vic, but Jack Redden was the last one. I can
Yeah,
think of.
good
Reddo
call.
was a good player that
call.
came. Yeah,
He was from the Lions, but South Australian, ended up West Coast.
But WA clubs are so out of the news.
yeah.
Like, without being disrespectful, I love it here. But no one is thinking, firstly, I might go to Perth. That's just not happening. Jack Redden's a good example. But also
super rare.
But also, it's that far away. It's actually a good lure to pull people back. Like, people who go to South Australia don't particularly miss Victoria because there's a 30-minute flight and you can go back and forth. So they've got the advantage to bring Luke Jackson, Jordan Clark, Elliot Yeo,
Shea Bolton.
Lewis Jetta, Shea Bolton. You can bring them
Liam
back.
Baker.
Liam Baker. Jack Graham.
Yeah, Jack Graham, but he's not a star, is he?
No, good
He's a
call.
good player, though. Nick, after this round of upsets and scares, who are the last two teams of September going to be this year? Go, pick your grand final.
Hawthorn v Geelong.
Adelaide, Brisbane.
It's too hard to have a decent opinion, isn't it, Rhino? Because the four's not set, so you can't even throw out the stumps at the four.
I want Hawthorn in there.
Fremantle. Hawthorn, Fremantle.
Dude,
I'm tempted to say it.
12 years later.
Hawthorn Fremantle. I'm going to do it.
If he takes a big grab, goes on early, takes a big grab.
What a redemption arc.
Yeah.
Adds to the arc.
I would move states for 2 weeks.
Would ya?
Freo beat Hawthorn, yeah, I would.
You'd leave.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Corey.
100%.
Got a broom.
Just going to see mum and dad.
100%. I'm going to Tassie for the
Corey,
week or
can we
two.
get a please explain from the Australian High Commissioner to Canada, Kate Logan, as to why we are letting Rick the Dick Stone completely butcher the AFL fixture from a country on a completely different side of the globe? Essendon, Carlton and Collingwood on marquee slots on a Thursday and Friday to end the season. I feel sick. I'd rather castrate myself with a rusty fork than watch that. Is Rick Stone the actual...
Not sure, but I know Mum and Dad are in Canada as we speak, so I've sent Dad onto the case.
Mark,
I did just quickly with the shitty games at the end. I noticed that our game got pushed back on the weekends, the Friday night game,
yes.
to allow people to come over at halftime.
No,
first
that's not
game.
what it was.
What is it?
I'll leave it at that. Mark, hello, ballers. Firstly, love the podcast. Being
Rhino
from
was
the
running
east,
late.
being from the eastern states, it's refreshing to hear all-encompassing footy talk. I'm a lifetime Hawks fan and have a huge soft spot for Zave. Well, there you go.
Wow.
Having said that, I'm starting to have a few concerns about the ginger. On top of killing dogs and wanking in public, he now tells us he leaps the turnstile at the train station, an unnecessary risk to save himself some money. Quick calculations on the number of times X uses public transport. I reckon he's saving himself $15 to $20 a year. My concern is these are three telltale signs of a serial killer. Are we destined to see in the not too distant future a Netflix documentary covering his crimes? Xavier Ellis,
Why he
the
came to West
four-layered
Coast.
onion, with the byline, he seemed so normal. We never suspected a thing. Thanks for your time. Keep up the good work.
I must admit, I'm not I'm not a public transport man too often.
Jesse, can we have when was the last time you got on the train or a bus?
6 years ago.
Jesse, can we have a royal commission into the umpiring? It's an all-time low. For f***'s sake, don't even know what a mark is anymore. What the f*** is holding the ball? What the f*** is hands in the back? Lord help us.
Who's this from?
Jesse.
It's going to be a guy, Jesse, but geez, I wish I was from a female, Jesse.
Yeah.
Just a bit of passion.
Bit of passion.
Sean, Nuts
Jesse
on the
from
line.
Tasmania.
Who are the Freo and West Coast skippers in 2026? Ooh, I reckon Liam Baker's captain of West Coast next year.
Alex Pearce will still be captain of Freo.
And I reckon Alex Pearce will still be captain of Freo.
You reckon?
Yeah.
You? Same?
I have no opinion on Freo where Alex Pearce sits in terms of whether he wants to give it up.
Yep.
Because he's missing a fair bit of games.
Yeah, that would be the reason if you were going to
Maybe
do
just
it.
focus
It's time
on
to hand it over
himself.
to Andy and Caleb.
And West Coast, no opinion. Make it Harley Reid.
Sneed feed. Hi, fellas. Question RE Freo's list management for you. While young players have slotted in nicely this year, Freo tends to find and then play a lot of promising youth in the seniors. My issue with this is that they're too good at it and do it every year, basically bringing in young talent, Reid, Warner, Voss, Dudley, for taking out those more experienced players in Walker and Aish. While the core players are there, it feels like those on the rung below are getting replaced, and I worry this is becoming a cycle where only the top 10 or so players will stay in the side long term and the rest are constantly getting overturned, especially since Freo's NGAs look good this year. Is it just me, or is this a real concern? I think this is a very good problem to have.
Yeah.
I was going to say, keeping players on their toes is a good thing.
Absolutely, and you're bringing in guys that they're just improving the floor, aren't they?
Bringing up the floor and the
Might
ceiling.
not be, the ceiling might just adjust a fraction, but the floor's coming right up.
Scarpsy voice.
Hey boys, love the show. Just thought I'd get your thoughts. Usually when a team wins a premiership, the other teams, you have Mr. Finals or whatever, they're trying to think of the new style of play, the new pattern that can obviously win them a premiership. Now I'm just thinking out loud here. Have Fremantle done that with the three talls up forward and Jackson and Sean Darcy? And so, are the talls back? Is it the way of the future? You can see Hawthorn are trying to do it now as well,
Yes.
and even Adelaide. Love to hear your thoughts.
I asked you this, I think we were off air, and I said about the Hawthorn, the four talls thing, and I was like, when they played Freo, did they see something they liked, and did Mitchell think maybe this can work, we can do this, it's working? And a lot of clubs have gone away from the big boys, but you've got to have talls that can chase.
I would say Freo had nothing to do with it with Mitch.
Yeah, you wouldn't say that. No,
Would be
you
my
definitely
thoughts.
would. You definitely wouldn't say that, would
That'd
you?
be my thoughts.
You would never
I
give
wouldn't
that
think
credit.
he'd be mirroring
no chance.
it.
You'd never say that. No.
The jury's out whether it works or not.
It's working for a few.
No, but you need to see it work in finals.
Stefan X, I continuously hear you say the Eagles should just play the kids and poo-poo any chat of recruiting senior bodies. Yet you also say how hard it is for draftees to go there because they have no support. So which is it? No team just plays the kids during a rebuild and ends up successful. Cheers, Stefan, listening in from lovely Port Macquarie. P.S. I've noticed how much my name sticks out like dog's balls amongst all the Matts, Lukes and Joshes. There's a lot of Joshes.
So what is it? I'll tell you what it is. They've won 9 games in 100 and they're re-signing experienced players to do absolutely nothing. So just play the kids and get pumped because you're getting pumped playing the adults.
Aaron, why was Skeeter dropped for Sodas this weekend?
Oh, actually, I did see that Sodas was in town and I saw Skeet was in 6PR or ABC.
Especially
6PR.
when at the start of the year it was advertised that we had our own team covering the
Local
games.
call.
So, no.
Wow.
Whose question was that?
Aaron.
Aaron, great question. Great
Excellent
spot.
question.
It wasn't dropped. So this game...
So who admits who? How's it done?
it's a discussion. It's a network discussion.
So you got, what do you call it, white-handing?
I don't know what you're
When you go behind the back of someone?
Yeah, that's why
I did not do
So
that.
you've experienced it firsthand this year with the Sunday rub, and now you're trying to do the same.
I did not do that. No.
Now, what happened in all seriousness?
No, the game went into Adelaide as well.
Yeah.
So our thinking was let's bring
Get
someone
Soda
over from
over.
Adelaide so that we can have a little bit of Adelaide flavour. So those viewers aren't just watching a WA call. You got to mix and match. And so this
So why
week,
didn't you sit it out?
well, I'm host
He's
as well.
He's
as
also
caller.
so Skeeter loses out here in the fact that he's not a 7 employee. He's contracted to do the games as well.
So-
Soda reads the news, does he? Or
Soda reads the news in Adelaide.
yeah, yeah.
I read the news
Yeah.
here. There's a bit of that.
So West Coast play, I know
Website read.
the season's coming to an end.
So this Friday is at Brisbane and Freo Brisbane, and that game will go into Queensland.
Right, so we've-
Bo McDonald
so-
is part of the coverage.
we've flown
Oh,
Bo
big
McDonald.
Bo.
in.
He's here already.
He coaches the WA under 18 girls.
He's doing some pre-game stuff for us. There's a bit
Right.
of a Brisbane flavour.
So
So
then-
we're very mindful of that because at the
So
start
then
of
next week you got
I was going to
Sydney.
say, well, you get Shane Webke's going to come and
well,
do
at the
that.
start of the year we were
News.
just here and we
Yeah.
started going into other markets.
So Sydney will fly.
I don't know about that. I don't know
Jude
about Sydney.
Bolton over.
I'm not sure what we're doing with Sydney yet. But that,
So Skeet's out for good.
No. That was just one game. It was just one game. And Adelaide might be doing the same thing as us next year. They're looking into it. So it was part of that too. No, Skeeter will be back. Skeeter's doing a fantastic job. Aaron's second part on the call, Sodas kept calling the Eagles Eags. What was with that? I don't know. He did do that. Yeah,
Eags?
Sodas, yeah. Not sure.
I'll use the word eggs.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah. Look, we've got way too many. We're going to actually have to go to the conspiracy theories. There's some good questions in here too, but we just rambled and rambled today. So apologies Do you want to know who sent them in? And Josh will pick any that are good that can still be used next week.
Yeah.
And he will read them out.
And I will say, apologies for that West Coast comment. They are slowly rebuilding.
Still trying to stay in
Stick
that
to
tent.
Nah, it's
Okay,
hard.
here's the conspiracy. It's from Jacob. Gents, this could not be more simple. It is as clear as day. Everyone can see it, and I've never been as confident about something in my entire life. In fact, it's barely a conspiracy at all. It is fact. Matthew Pavlich is a Fremantle Football Club agent, a mole, who has not only been planted inside Sydney's four walls, but has been planted in the top job. There is one reason only, to prize Chad Warner out of Sydney. Chad's preference for West Coast is evident. His 2-year extension is timed perfectly to meet the Eagles on their ascension into the top 8. Why put yourself through the pain of 1-win seasons now? Pav's mission is a 2-year recruitment job. Freo are nearing their peak and want to add the cherry on top in Warner. Tell me I'm wrong. I've seen this bandied about.
So I thought a different conspiracy around Pav.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, Freo are going to get one over West Coast, and Pav's going to go in there and sack Coxie at some stage.
Yeah,
Revenge.
Because the CEO sacks the coach.
Yeah.
So at some
1-year coach,
stage,
Dean Cox.
at some stage, Pav's going to say, "Dean, we need to speak," and Pav's going to sack him. That's
Hasn't
Really?
been,
that's
hasn't
what
been
has
the
to happen.
first year. Hasn't been the
Vengeance.
first year we imagined. We probably made the wrong call.
No, but it has to happen. No coach retires.
That's true. At some point, he's going to sack him.
That's fact.
Or he's just going to get poached and go somewhere else.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a Hardwick scenario.
Well, Horse retired basically, didn't he?
Stephen. I'll go with Stephen. In Northern Ireland. Hi, lads.
Stefan.
As an OG Port hater, I've been perplexed at the confidence people have about a possible trade of Naz to Port Adelaide. It isn't a surprise to me that he'd want to go, but how on earth does Port get a deal done? They haven't got their own pick this year, and having traded out first-round picks in 22, 23 and 24, they are surely close to violation of the AFL's 2-in-4-year first-round pick policy. I can't see St Kilda accepting any list cloggers to move the needle either, so it would seem they're at an impasse. Then inspiration struck me. If Ken has shown us anything over his career, it's that he's not only a leading figure in lollygag comedy, but also a huge team player. Someone that would do anything for the team. Someone who would sacrifice himself for the club. Some of Port's worst losses under Ken have been this year. It's gotten so bad that they currently sit in 12th on the ladder on equal points with a resurgent Saints team, also 7.4% better off. I put it to you that Ken is purposely tanking the pair so that if trade talks fall apart and Naz walks to the draft, then Port are in the pecking order ahead of the Saints. P.S. I'm not a Crows or Saints fan, so I've got no skin in the trade. I'm just a former Adelaide boy fueled with the bitterness of 2004. Go Lions. Yeah, I know other teams would take Naz ahead of Port, but then where's the fun in that?
I'll tell you what, if Naz enters
That's a good conspiracy.
I'll tell you if Naz enters the draft, I'll tell you where he'll be.
West
Coast.
Right here in Perth.
This episode is brought to you by Woodside Energy, a proud major sponsor of the Fremantle Footy Club, supporting local footy from grassroots to greatness.